you know, she would sit here and
she would
do
watch
watch
TV.
TV
Yeah.
and then sit with your son. And
She
I
would
mean,
sit here with Anthony.
These
and
are
his
electric
face.
reclining chairs.
Yeah. They
See,
go
that's-
all the way back.
All
So
electric.
she could sit and put her feet up because she had problems with her legs, with the veins. So we had to keep her legs elevated a lot. This is all her stuff. This was their
Garden
dresser in their bedroom. It's a family pictures, her
All
curio cabinet. Yeah, my dad used to sit in this chair, but I put stuff on it before, so it was protected from it. This was my dad's
Memory.
oh
the
yes.
busy blanket because he had dementia so bad. And he really loved it. He would sit there and hold it and do the zippers and the locks
And look at this. She's got a full kitchen.
And I did lock it. All it was, I would lock it so that when she wanted to step up, she would tell me because my mom would not be able to step up on this on her own. So this is open all the time.
And I want to thank Brandon for coming up and recognizing our blue shirts. We've been here. The group that we represent is really our elderly, but a lot of us have been going for years to a lot of the events. So we really are a citizen task force for our elderly, who we love. And what I want to bring to you today is a story about Betty Hayes. I'm a real estate agent under, and let me tell you, this is beautiful, Article 25, Public Act 299 of 1980. I got my license in 83. I was able to go to Betty Hayes' home and see the grandpad that was built for them, them being mom and dad. Dad has since passed, mom has been kidnapped. The people behind me will probably tell more to the story. What my concern is that this is for the attorneys in the room through the chair, because I also did talk to Mr. Rob, because I know he is a veteran. He's always out there fighting. Realtors fight. We just fight differently. We don't fight with guns. We fight with a pen and a camera. So what's happening is we have an attorney sitting here in the city of Livonia that refuses to document anything. And as a realtor, you can't give value unless you have proof to people of what's going on. So I just want to read you a real quick piece of information. This is all public record. And I do have a public record that I'd like to give to the group for you to read to get yourself a little educated about the Betty Hayes case. But this is what was written by an attorney. Perhaps you should suggest to your client, and the three names, to stop the immature yet very harmful Facebook postings about other family members and their directing of comments potentially destructive to their business and livelihoods, and concentrate on resolving the financial issues in this case in order to bring the matter to a close. This attorney out of Livonia that needs an ordinance. So we would like the attorneys or the council of our city, Lieutenant Lister was also helping, to look into this particular attorney who is a guardian ad litem.
You have 30 seconds left.
Thank you. And she's a guardian ad litem, and she's not asking this woman about her accounting. She's not coming to the house. I came as a realtor. You should see the house that she was abducted from and brought to a niece who's a paralegal who worked in Wayne County Probate Court. That's where the problem lies. So we do have to investigate who's doing the harm.
My mother was the one that was abducted. 93,663 people in Livonia. Almost 40,000 Livonia residents who are over the age of 50 must learn about the probate process and know how attorneys in this town are not doing their role as guardian ad litem. This position must be regulated at the local level to protect our elderly and our vulnerable. We trust our court system, we trust our election process, but we don't trust people. That is why we are asking the local people here in Livonia who have been elected to care about the people to create a new ordinance regarding how our families are being treated after a family member is abducted and placed in a different residence. Whether it's a nefarious family member, a group home, or a senior living community. We were told by the Michigan Attorney General listening to her in 2019 that practices and policies for this vital concern were to be put in place for our professional workers. They were to be mandated to investigate these travesties of our families. The investigation must start out there with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help our God. Our family has contacted state troopers and a banking institution after an illegal document was produced by a nefarious family member who was trained as a paralegal in the probate system. She's also a notary, and she also notarized her own document, which is illegal. Instead of getting help by those institutional professionals, are being misled. Their claim is that abduction and attempted embezzlement is a civil issue for the courts to handle, where we believe it's a criminal issue, where we lack the proper enforcement measures to protect our elderly. Hence the reason why am I here. The guardian ad litem works out of this city and has allowed my mother to be held captive away from her residence since May 1st, 2021. When a loved one has a mental deficiency, 6 months can do irreparable harm due to their confusion and memory loss. My mom has dementia since 2017. My father died from dementia. She has not addressed the court with accurate and steadfast actions to begin criminal charges. We are requesting the City of Livonia to provide their prosecuting attorneys and a few police investigators to look into the probate files of attorney Melinda Cameron, who has an office in this city. She charges large fees, helps other people charge large fees.
30 seconds.
That is harming Michigan citizens. My sister Cindy should not have to pay $105,000 in legal fees to fight for my mother, to get my mother back where she rightfully belongs. Investigation started once a court order for Melinda Cameron to investigate the facts began back in May. She has never interviewed me, my brother, or been to my sister's house. My sister is being financially exploited and the city leaders must get engaged.
I've had my aunts and my mom staying at some nursing homes here in Livonia, and I'm obviously very concerned in this matter also. Melinda Cameron is the GAL in Livonia, and she's not doing her job, and we feel just like if children were getting abused, there'd be somebody watching them and making sure they're not getting abused. An elderly person is no different than a child. They obviously don't make the right decisions. I've seen it firsthand. My father-in-law lived with us, and I never knew what dementia was and never experienced it in my life, but I experienced it. And by experiencing it, I see that elderly people are even worse off than children, and they need to be protected. There's not enough protection for elderly, and it seems like nobody's taking them serious around the whole country. This is not just in Michigan, but this is going around the whole country. And obviously, we all have parents. Most of us, I'm sure, still have parents. And for whatever reason, their rights are not being protected. And this can happen to anyone. And I would have never thought this would be possible, what my family's going through right now. And there is no protection. It just seems like the law is not protecting them. So you have an attorney here, Miss Melinda Cameron, and she's intentionally creating isolation for my mother-in-law. And she's just not doing her job correctly. And we just want to make sure that the city of Livonia should be making sure that, I mean, you know, you have a lot of elderly people in your city, and there should be some protection. Obviously, some people from Livonia would be thinking, hey, she's a great attorney, or she's an attorney in Livonia, she's representing Livonia, and let's use her. But we want somehow the city of Livonia to have some type of looking at these people to make sure they're doing their job properly, to be able to protect the elderly during their most needed time in life.
It's not just going to happen here in Livonia. You're surrounded. It's happening everywhere, in every district, every city, every county of this state. Because I followed the Elder Abuse Task Force after the AG created it, after we went up there with 2,300 investigated cases to show her how it is a systemic issue going on all over the state. And I was at every city. Jody was there. There were other people there to hear people coming out of the woodwork saying this too is our main concern for elder abuse, is that it's happening in the courts. This is bigger than the Roman priest scandal. It is bigger than the Dr. Nasser. It is huge. And we are aware that it's huge because we've been traveling all over the state, listening and listening and listening. Of course, we're doing something about it. The elected officials are not doing anything about it, and that is why it still exists. That is why people are dying. My mother is dead. You have to do something about it, or they'll be coming to your door, to your parents, and knocking. I'm a baby boomer. Somebody's going to quote how many 70-year-olds there are in Livonia here. I'm 70, and I'm afraid they're going to come after me at some point. We're the baby boomers, but we're not going to sit back and allow this to happen.
We have multiple people being harmed here. Melinda Cameron is an attorney who is not doing things legally here in this city. And I fully intend through my investigative work now to go after these individuals. I hope that I can have your support.
Because I think that's very important. Nobody should be above the law, and some of that is going on, as we have heard about it. And I work with about 4 different senators on this very issue and others. So I just want to say thank you for coming in tonight.